we are after the show last week, right? And we just reflected on, everything that went on, and actually relieved having kicking the show off. What do you think?
No, it was fantastic. I mean, the fact that it was the first show during a pandemic in this region, we were actually able to pull it off. Governor Murphy brought down the numbers from 50 to 25. We still made sure that the competitors were on, made sure that the competitors were happy, because it's really all about getting them on stage. They had worked so hard. Some of them had been on a diet since January, since February, waiting, competition after competition, waiting to get on stage, and finally we were able to pull it off. I mean, that was really fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was really them that did it for us, and we were just lucky enough to be part of it.
And we're talking about the 2020 OCB Big Apple, which initially was going to be promoted as it was last year in Brooklyn. It's actually a New York show. It just happened to be promoted in New Jersey this year because in height of everything that was going on with the coronavirus and COVID, that we thought that we would have a better shot to take it out of a university or school and actually put it in a hotel ballroom, which worked out. I mean, we had all kind of pressure on us actually for this issue. The 24 years I've been involved with promoting, I think this one by far was the toughest show that I ever had to put on. Pete and I talked about that a lot. Lorraine is actually our partner in the shows, actually two events, the OCB Galaxy in Florida, South Florida, and also the OCB Big Apple. And we also promote the Garden State, right?
Yes.
Which was canceled 2 weeks before the event. So we had a lot of anxiety coming into this event. It wasn't easy, guys. We made it happen. We was able to actually live stream it for family and friends who couldn't make it. But they put so much restraint on us that even that night, they was actually going to cancel us out. Even to that morning.
Yep.
So this is the stuff that the athletes didn't know about. I mean, we had that constant threat of the show being pulled, and all we were thinking about was the athletes that worked so hard. Some traveled from out of state, and some traveled from far away. And our thing was to make sure that the athletes did finally get on stage to get some type of normalcy. What do you think, Pete?
Yeah, man, we kind of pulled it off when we thought we couldn't, and we worked so hard. We've been working since March all the way to now. I said, when I was talking to Paul, and we have to do something for the athletes because they've been working so hard. So we tried every time they threw us a curveball, we found a way to get it. All the way to the end of the show, it was so mind stressful because we had to go by the rules and regulations of the coronavirus guidelines, but we got through. There was a few pros that were really happy. They became pro. They deserved to be pro, and it was a good show. And our staff, families, and friends that supported us all the way through made this show happen for the OCB Big Apple.
So actually, as we sit here and reflect on the show this past weekend, now we could actually take a deep breath, we could breathe again. We're glad that it actually happened, we pulled it off. The main thing is that everyone was safe, but that your safety and health came first with us. But we thought that we couldn't promote this show and keep you guys safe at the same time. We would have canceled a long time ago. Now we're sitting here reflecting on next year. We have 3 shows next year, one in March, which is the Garden State here in New Jersey. The Big Apple, we're bringing it back to Brooklyn next year. That's in August. we'll also have a show in South Florida, Fall Springs, the OCB Galaxy. And we canceled that one this year because in height of all the numbers that they said was high in Florida, so I didn't want to take that risk or that chance going down there, and then we had to come back and be quarantined because New Jersey said they was going to quarantine everybody coming from those states. So that would have put us right smack in the middle of us promoting our show, right? I mean the show at the Big Apple. You know, I remember Pete years ago. John Kemper ran that show in the blizzard.
Yeah, in King College. The roof.
No, that was Rutgers in New Brunswick. Remember?
Oh, when the roof came down?
No, that's another show. Yeah.
But that was a big snowstorm in King College.
No, that actually was Rutgers.
It was Rutgers.
In New Brunswick. I remember that.
It's been a long time, so I kind of forgot the name of the
And I was asking myself, how did he pull this off? Because we actually was in prejudging. It was climbing. I think it was like 3 feet at the time.
It was really bad.
And it was a blizzard actually. I mean, it started out, everything was calm.
Right.
And then we looked out the windows and said, hey, I don't think we're gonna have a night show all week. I mean, the prejudging was going on. She said, well, I don't know, say maybe it'll stop. I said, I don't think so, you know, but then it was 3 feet by what?
It was
12 o'clock, 1 o'clock.
You couldn't even drive. You know, you got if you did, you had to be.
But John made the adjustment. He said, you know what? We're gonna do the prejudging and the finals now.
Right.
That was my first experience with the straight through format.
format.
That was in 1993.
Yeah, that was a while back, and I remember to this day that snowstorm.
But as we was doing, this was a snowstorm for us.
Yeah.
I mean, this COVID, you know, that I start reflecting back and thinking about John.
Right.
What he went through and how he was able to go through with it.
What I'm happy about, they find a way, the athletes, to train and diet. That's the main thing.
That's what I'm most impressed with.
I'm so impressed because even though they had the snowstorm, they still gyms were open somehow or another. And you know, that happened in the last minute. That storm happened in one day. We've been dealing with the coronavirus since it came out, I don't know, in January, I guess, or then it got worse towards the month. And every month it got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. But we didn't give up, you know what I mean? We found a way. And when you have a good group of people that support you, everything works so much easier that way. Because everybody from, like I said, the help, the staff was amazing, the judges were amazing. And they came out and supported every little thing we had done. And that's why I think it became successful that way, because we all pulled together, you know. We didn't divide each other and got, you know, into arguments or fights or with the athletes. I know it's a weird situation. It's maybe some people, the audience, want to see the whole show, but due to the circumstances, at least they got to see their friends compete. It's something that's better than nothing, and we had a live stream thanks to Paul and for doing that for us. And there were people watching it in their rooms and watching the show. So, I mean, it started off hard, but in the end it came out okay. I think I'm happy for that.
And I think actually the competitors got more exposure than they would have if we had an actual audience.
Right.
Because they had, each of them had individual interviews that were done in order to find out just what they had done in order to continue going on throughout the entire time that gyms were closing up, during the time that competitions were being closed up and not having to be rescheduled and having to be changed and the whole bit. So they had the interviews, they had the live stream, and that live stream is always going to be there available for them. So instead of just having an audience and just having them for that one day, they actually got a lot of exposure.
Yes. You know, and actually people heard me and your name as the promoter a lot, but actually Lorraine is our co-promoter. It's about 3 of us. You know, she's our backbone, she's the rock that keep us going.
She's a doc.
So, well, I was gonna say,
It's a joke.
So I was gonna call her by her title, it was
Lorraine.
Dr. Lorraine DePass,
Yeah.
but she preferred
No,
Lorraine.
it's fine, Lorraine.
Yeah, but she's actually our co-promoter, so it's all three of us that was involved.
We all work together, we pull through. You know, grace of God, everything happened, you know,
So you guys are excited for next year?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You know, I think
wish it was tomorrow.
You know, it's funny, no matter how hard we work, and it's been what, 24 years promoted?
Yes.
24, 25 years?
Yeah.
It's always, after the last show, I'm just as much excited
For the next one.
for the following
For
year
the next one.
than I was before. I thought,
Yeah, so
someone asked me before, do you ever get burned out? I said, no, because actually when we put on these shows, I'm living vicarious through the athlete, because I feel like I'm on stage. You know, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
This show actually was a challenge this time. You know, so any final thoughts, Pete?
Well, I'm just excited for next year, and Lorraine, as our promoter now with us, she's been with us since we started promoting, and I'm real happy that she's on board with us to make these things happen for us.
Right.
Like you said, I mean, I'm really looking forward to starting up again, doing posing clinics, which we used to do on a regular basis.
Yes.
You know, being able to do posing clinics, getting the shows going, just having that face-to-face of, with social distancing, face-to-face with competitors and spending time with them.
Right.
Oh, just love it.
You know what? I'm happy, and I know we're ending this segment soon. No competitors complain about wearing the mask on stage.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's true. Actually, wearing the mask is our new norm. You know?
You know what I mean? So they were happy taking pictures with the mask, and a lot of them were creative. They had bling bling all over the place. They were matching their suits. I mean, they made it.
They made it work.
They made it work. So to me, I put thumbs up on that.
Yeah.
And you know, I'd be redundant if I don't give credit to, we are with a great organization, the OCB.
Absolutely.
I'd like to thank Matt for giving us the opportunity to judge for this here great organization, and also thank Marjorie, who does a lot of the work behind the scenes. You know, without her, you know, like I always said, she always made our jobs easy. You know, especially the transition of us coming over here over a year ago.
And
And other people who support us too throughout every single show.
Yes.
And,
You know, the judges.
just to mention other people, I'm sorry. Just to mention other people that I don't want to leave out. Yvonne, it was a big help for us.
Absolutely.
For the MC and the DJs who've been with us. DJ Reggie and everybody else. But Yvonne is one of the hardest working person in this organization.
It takes a team.
It takes a team, and kudos to her and Reggie for helping us out through this epidemic.
Absolutely.
That's it, folks. We just wanted to, you know, come on here and share our thoughts of the show that took place,
See you next year.
and show our appreciation to all the athletes that showed up, because we always say that without the athletes, there's no show.
There's no show.
The athletes are the show. So thank you guys for coming out. We hope to see you next year, and guys, be safe. I know we living in a difficult time.
Difficult time for
In a
everybody.
time of uncertainty, so everyone, please be safe, and hope to see everyone next year.
See you next year.
See you next year.
Sportscaster.
Mhm.
Next, I feel like a sportscaster.